Welcome back to NCTV. I'm Colin Craner, your host and winemaker here at Nottingham Cellars. It's Chardonnay month out here in the Livermore Valley, so today we're going to take the time and talk about our Livermore Chardonnay program. First, we're going to take a ride out to the vineyard, and then we'll give you some insight as to how the wine is made in our barrel program. Let's go take a look and see what's going on Buena Vista. Fraser Howard Vineyard sits on the valley floor here in the Livermore Valley, right on Buena Vista Road. The Wente Clone 2A Chardonnay was planted in the late 90s and has been producing world-class Chardonnay for world-class wines ever since. The vineyard consistently ripens a little bit earlier than the rest of the Chardonnay out here in Livermore, right around the same time most of the Sauv Blanc is coming into other wineries. The location, trellis system, and everything going on at the vineyard really makes for world-class wines. The VSP and north-south orientation creates a wind tunnel and traps the maritime influence of the Bay and the Pacific Ocean. We were lucky enough to get a small allocation of this vineyard in 2011, and we've grown our production and now actually take the whole vineyard in 2013. We really look forward to growing this program, and we think it's a great wine and a great wine for the future. When we think the grapes are tasting good and the ripeness is at the appropriate level, the grapes are hand harvested, brought to the winery, and pressed whole cluster. The juice is inoculated in the tank and kept real cold in order to retain the tropical fruit flavors and aromatics that come naturally through the vineyard. At about 10 or 15 bricks, the wine is transferred to barrel and fermentation finishes in the barrel. This helps with mouthfeel and phenolics. After fermentation, the wine is aged in a variety of different barrels to give the wine complexity. Battenage is performed weekly for the first 2 months and then bi-weekly thereafter. Around April, we start tasting and deciding if we're going to continue battenage or rack the wine off the gross lees. The 2012 vintage spent a total of 7 months on the lees before it was racked. In April of this year, we selected 8 of the 14 barrels we produced to make the composition of this blend. The barrels were chosen, racked off gross lees, and put back in the barrel for additional aging before they were bottled. We plan on bottling this wine in late August, seeing about 11.5 months of barrel time. When the wine is finished fermenting and we're cellaring in the barrels, the idea is to use a wide array of different barrels as a spice rack to get different flavor components and put those components together for a final blend that's complex and has different flavors going on. In an effort to do that, we start with the Segura ST. That's my reference barrel, the one I feel most comfortable putting my Chardonnay in. We use 2 once filleds and 2 brand new barrels to give us a nice composition for the base of the blend. On top, you see Marchieve barrels. Those are probably the highest impact of anything we use on Chardonnay. Very big vanilla and chocolatey tones, nice dusty feel to the mouth, and a little grit to the wine. Up top, all the way, there are 2 neutral oak barrels. Those barrels were new in 2007, and we've been babying those things ever since. They've seen every vintage of Chardonnay since we started. These barrels, while they don't put off a lot of oak flavors, are getting great oxidation rate and really creating a nice fruit-driven component to the final blend. When assembled, the final blend ends up being absolutely wonderful. Thanks again for joining us on NCTV. Be sure to join us next time. We're going to take a ride and show you what's going on at all the different vineyards. Things are going crazy here in Livermore. We're 3 weeks ahead of schedule. It's shaping up to be another great vintage in the Livermore Valley. Look forward to seeing you next time.